A Sha Tin Sunday awaits us and a really good program coming up this week. There's group racing, the Panasonic Cup is on as well, and some promising types across the 10 races. Welcome to Racing to Win. This is where we have it previewed all for you. Paul Lally, Tom would join us in the studio, and this is quality, Tom.
Certainly is, Mark. There's heaps to look forward to. Of course, the 42nd edition of the Panasonic Cup, but the headline act, of course, is the Premier Bowl. Helios Express is back. He has to carry top weight against a pretty good field of sprinters this year.
Yeah, we'll talk through that race on the show. Paul Lally joins us too. They're jackpots.
Yeah, there's 5 million going into the triple trio, so that should get over the 10 million mark. So a decent jackpot there, and yeah, some grid racing, isn't it, all the way through. Some of the speed maps I did were a little bit tricky, some of those races, because there's a lot of horses that like to go forward and put themselves into the races.
Here are the meeting details for Sunday. We've got a turf day because there's an all-weather meeting coming up next Thursday night. The 2 races we focus on, the Class 2, the Panasonic Cup, and race number 8, the Premier Bowl, the Group 2 over the 1,200 metres. Just take note, it's an earlier start time too, again, 12:45, as we take in a race from Japan. Before we look at this meeting, the Jockey Club has been pouring plenty of money both into horse welfare and also upgrading the facilities for the jockeys. Nick went along to find out what has been happening both in the jockeys' room and down the stables during the off-season.
Well, with recent big race successes, courtesy of both Kai Ying Rising and My Wish more closer to home, and also their riders, not forgetting Zach Purton and Alexi Bedell, they can't achieve the results, both human and equine, without the facilities that support them. And here at the Sha Tin Racecourse, the Hong Kong Jockey Club continue to upgrade the facilities for both human and equine. World class they are indeed, and earlier on this week, the Jockey Club opened the doors for the media to come and take a look at these new renovations. The first phase of the refurbishment of the stables has recently been completed, with 4 new blocks now in operation. Pierre Rung was one of the first trainers to get access to the new facilities.
It is amazing, very impressive, brand new. Compared to the old ones, of course, that was like 50 years ago to build with. So it's a much bigger difference, much better environment for the horses and both human as well. The facilities we got here is quite amazing.
As well as the upgraded facilities in the stables, trainers at Sha Tin also now have access to 10 brand new state-of-the-art equine treadmills. David Eustace told me why he is a fan of this training aid.
Well, I think it's allowing to get fitness into a horse with, you know, a very low risk of injury. You know, ultimately they're fragile animals that we have to get the desired work in to get fit for racing, and they'll be able to do that without having a rider on their back and taking a left or right hand turn at speed, and the ground underneath them extremely consistent.
A race-fit horse needs a race-fit jockey, and recent renovations have not just been confined to the stables. Riders have access to a new jockey's room with everything a top athlete would require. These improvements have been overseen by Stephen Higgins.
The Centre of Excellence, as we now call it, was not just about race day preparation. It's about a 7-day-a-week wellness facility. So we have a full-time physiotherapist, we have sports masseurs coming in, and a nutritionist, fitness coaches. So we needed the facilities to reflect that investment. So now they've got their own gymnasium, they've got their own treatment rooms for the physios, they've got cold plunges, they've got hot plunge, they've got steam room, they've got sauna. So not only do they have the benefit of those facilities every race day, they have them every single day. And it's been a game changer, and we'll continue to make investments in that space because we believe that not only do we want the best horses in the world, we also want the best jockeys.
Having had a strong start to the new season, British jockey Harry Bentley is someone that is reaping the rewards of these new facilities.
The club has really gone all out, and we have a lot at our disposal now, which only helps with preparation, getting fitter and stronger before racing.
The work does not stop here. The entire stable complex is expected to be completed by 2030, and there will be further enhancements to the jockeys' facilities in the summer.
lot of money being spent. Paul, looks pretty ordinary, the jockey's room, doesn't it?
I just wonder, can we get to use it as well?
Yeah, only during days that end with Y.
Yeah, exactly. But no, fantastic facilities, giving the jockeys every opportunity to perform.
And the stables, Tom, that's been a big plus for the horses down there because they, as Pierre said, were pretty old.
Yeah, they certainly were built in the 70s when Sha Tin was first built, and so that's, I think, a 10-year plan to get all those done. So there's a bit of moving and shaking in terms of trainers having to shift around, and obviously that's the beauty of Chung Fa as well. A lot of the horses can go up there.
They are. Indeed, you can find out who's where and who's been where on the website too, hkjc.com. There's all of the track work movements and the like, including the ones that have been using the brand new treadmills. We move on now to racing at Sha Tin. Here is the Panasonic Cup Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. Massive Sovereign headlines the field with the cheek pieces on. Ruby Light goes up in distance, as does Hong Kong Golf. Mark Wynn raced wide in the Celebration Cup. He's drawn barrier 7 this week. Steps Ahead's placed 2 from 3 course and distance. Stunning Peach is first up on the back of a couple of trials. Sky Heart was a winner down in grade last time. Wide draw, but he did win from that wide draw. And Sagacious Life is a newcomer. He's had 5 trials, a former Brazilian galloper. He's shown pace, Paul, Sagacious Life, but you think Voyage Samurai will just have a bit too much for him?
Yeah, he should do, especially from barrier number 1. He can just ping along in front there, Voyage Samurai, and that's where he does run his best races. Sagacious Life's drawn 6. I think he'll probably pop in behind. Steps Ahead can come across. Skyheart went across from his wide draw last time, but he'll try and get outside Voyage Samurai. I thought Hong Kong Golf will get one of the best runs in the race.
We have an interview first up. The resuming Bundle Award is to be written by Andrea Razzani.
Andrea, we've got some cracking racing coming up on Sunday, and the chief supporting race of the Group 2 is the Panasonic Cup. You're going to ride Bundle Award. We didn't get to see him recently, but we'll see him this weekend, and he's a smart horse, this fellow, isn't he?
He is. He obviously won a Class 1 sort of back end last season. He's had a few trials now. His trials have been quite good. He's not a flashy horse in the mornings, but it's all about how he moves, and I've been very happy with him. Obviously the plan was to obviously run him in the Group 2 mile, and unfortunately didn't get in, but this race sort of came up once they changed the ratings, and yeah, it's a very competitive race. He's obviously going in with a near enough top weight, but yeah, no, I'm very pleased with him, and he's a horse that runs well fresh, and the mile, it's a good start for him as well.
You mentioned that Class 1 win at the end of the season. I mean, that was a handy enough field. Beat Happy Together and Co. So, I mean, that form's pretty strong.
It is. It was obviously carrying near enough bottom weight, I think, maybe 116. He's a horse that goes back and he runs on well. But yeah, it feels like physically he's done well. He's definitely strengthened up, which he needed to. And but no, we've been very pleased with him. It's obviously his first round of the season. There's a good chance he'll come on for it, but it looks like he's ready to go.
I know you didn't ride him when he won the Queen Mother Memorial. That's obviously a 1.5 mile, 2,400 metre race. But does he ride like a horse that's relatively versatile? I mean, 1 mile to 1.5 miles. Do you reckon he can sort of take in all those sort of trips?
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how he's this season. But yeah, looking at his form, he's done it from 1 mile, from 7 furlongs to 1 mile to 1.5 miles. So trip-wise, he's very, very versatile. He's a horse that, like I said, he always goes back, whether he's run over 1 mile or 1.5 miles. He's got that way of racing, but he's not a slow horse. He's actually got a very good turn of foot, so hopefully he can show that on Sunday.
I know there are limited opportunities for him, and obviously the decision rests with the owners and John, of course, but he might just be a horse, might need to follow over those sort of those longer distances going forward, because there'll be certainly nice options for him.
For sure. As we know, these sort of same races, over 2,000 metres, okay, but the likes of Romantic Warrior and maybe Voyage Bubble. I know Voyage Bubble, he did run over 1.5 miles, but it wouldn't have took a lot to beat those sort of horses. He probably didn't need to stay to win that. But, it's a horse that, yeah, like I said, he'll stay, and be interesting to see how he goes on Sunday, but he's got plenty of options over 1 mile, 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles, I'd say, if he needs to eventually.
There is Andrea. Tom, how do you have Bundle Award in your calculations for this race?
I thought his trial was very good coming into this. Obviously, first up, it's sort of taken him a run or so to get fitness under his belt. But 21.87 when he won that race, Paul, at the back end of the season. There's a fair bit of quality about this horse with where he was able to win to as well, 14 up to 24.
Yeah, definitely. This is obviously not his grand final. This is a stepping stone starting off, but he might run well fresh. But look, I didn't include him in there.
Speaking of run well fresh, Paul, here's Ruby Lott, who's last turning for home here over the 1,400 metres. You've had time for Mark Wynn. He had an excuse here. Do these two make it in this week?
Yeah, I really like Ruby Lott coming into this race. I like the fact he is stepping up to the 1,600 metres. He's had this kick-off here over the 14. He's drawn wide once again, but he gets back in his races, and you can see it was a bit of a bunch finished here behind the winner, but he was the one that was making really good ground wide down the outside.
He was able to put up the quickest closing section of the race as well, and we know what My Wish has been able to do since. Johannes Brahms in that race didn't get a great deal of luck, and I'd certainly be entertaining him with Purton on board from 4.
Let's keep an eye on Johannes Brahms for Tom. His steps ahead, Huge Wave, Honglok Golf and Mickley. Let's focus on Honglok Golf for the moment, Tom, because he was really good first prep. He wasn't too bad here. He ran third, but couldn't pull back the other pair, and he did dip at the start in a recent trial.
Yeah, he did. He actually made a mess of the start of that trial, and again, a bit like his trial leading into this first up run, he never really travelled fantastically in the trial, but there was still a fair bit, I think, to like about this run. He couldn't quite get past the top two, but he kept coming. I think the step up to 1,600 metres here at this point of his preparation looks ideal.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get into a really good position. There's a bit of pace in the race. If he gets one off the rail, he'll have something to charge at in the straight there as well. And he's such an honest horse. He doesn't win by much, but he does get the job done normally.
Talent, ambition. Paul, you've been a massive fan of this horse since he's been here. His best form in Hong Kong is on this surface. He has one on the turf in Australia, but is he right in the deep end here on the turf?
Looks that way, doesn't he? I mean, the stable's in red-hot form, but all his wins here in Hong Kong have been on the all-weather, and that's how you've seen his ratings go up. I mean, he's up to a rating of 88 at the moment. Last time he ran on the turf, that was at Happy Valley. He was off an 80 rating and ran last, and the time before that he ran 7th, so prefer him on the...
Yeah, he obviously was no match for his winner there, for his stablemate rather, who won the race, Sing Dragon. But Mark Noon's always had an opinion of this horse, so maybe he could be one for outside first fours.
You can't knock the way the stable's going, that's for sure. Mark Newnham absolutely flying at the moment. The Found stable also going well. Sky Heart, this was a good win. Tom crossed down from a wide gate, sit outside the leader and Too Good. Wide gate again, but on the plus he gets in with a light weight.
He has got a very light weight, but he is obviously 3 pounds wrong in the handicap here as well. He drew barrier 13 this day when winning over Master of All. He's come up with barrier number 14. I just thought the quality of the opposition here, Paul, just might see him come unstuck.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I don't think he'll be able to get across as easily as he did at his last start there. This is up into Class 2. There is a lot of pace underneath him.
And we've saved one of the main talking points, Paul, to last. This horse, Massive Sovereign. 3 trials, Brenton Avdulla, David Eustace. Cheek pieces go on. We know he's a former Derby winner who went wayward after that with his form. What are you thinking this week with him?
Well, again, I think this is a stepping stone for him up to something further. He has won fresh in the past, to be fair to the horse, and the cheek pieces will go on. He'll get back. I can see him making up some really good ground late. Whether he'll get there in time, I don't think he will.
Yeah, it's 135 is going to be a tough ask here against quality opposition. We know he's a Derby winner. But, yeah, I thought his run at the back end of last season when he was resuming there, I think it was probably a bit more than a pass mark the way he was running on at the end.
There's the boys' thoughts leading into the first of the races. We preview the Panasonic Cup. What's your top 4, Paul?
Going to go with Ruby Lott on top with that 1,400 metre run under his belt. He'll get back. He should have the pace in the race. Honglok Golf, look, the way he maps, I think he maps perfectly. He'll get his chance. Steps ahead, he'll put himself right in the race. And one outside the square, which I think who has gone well fresh in the past, is Stunning Peach. Comes in with 115 pounds from barrier 2, and he did look good at his last season going through the 4-year-old series. 2, 4, 8 and 10.
Yeah, I like Honglok Golf again, a bit like his last start, leading into his last start. Didn't like the trial, but does seem to certainly save his best for race day. Drawn gate number 9 should get a nice enough run in transit. Ruby Lott, I think, one of the main dangers. Johannes Brahms didn't get a great deal of luck, and he's got a potent finish on him, does bundle awards, and he should be running on at the end for Andrea Razzini. 4, 2, 5 and 3.
That's the first race previewed on Racing to Win. It's a good field and it doesn't stop there. Back with the preview for group racing right after this. Welcome back to part 2 of Racing to Win. Before we focus on the Group 2 race, Paul's about to reveal our last run reminder for this meeting, and very consistent in-form horse, Paul.
Yeah, look, he's had 2 starts this season. He's been placed both times. Didn't have much luck here last time. You can see him 4 wide coming into the bend as well, and wasn't too far away at the end. They didn't go overly quick in this race as well. You can see him coming down the straight. There you go. There was just a little bit slower than standard. And he fought right to the line, this horse. Now, he's going to get a perfect run from barrier number 5. I can see him getting in behind the speed. He did win at the back end of last season over the mile. The mile looks the right trip for him. And there he was finishing off strongly with a lot better run. I think he's going to be one of the main players.
He is Polar Pangs. He is race 4, number 5, the last run reminder. Here's the details now for the Premier Bowl, race number 7. No, make it race number 8. As we turn the page, Helios Express at the top, Hugh Bowman, John Size. Beauty Waves goes from the 1,000 to the 1,200. Fast Networks won 2 from 4. Course and distance. Raging Blizzard, 4-time course and distance winner. Wunderbar, he is a 5-time course and distance winner. Magic Controller struggled at this distance. Mugen returns, and Tomodachi Kokoro in a Group 2 on the back of 2 very good wins. Says he's also, Paul, going to get a really nice run, Tomodachi Kokoro.
Yeah, look, it's really tricky one, this one, because bottom up together, look, he's going to be either leading or trailing because he's drawn barrier 1. I think Wunderbar's just going to have to push on. He did lead at his last start. Magic Control can lead over 1,200 metres, but look, he's been taking a sit recently. Tomodachi Kokoro can get that nice run. Beauty Waves goes forward. He could be a little bit wide. So Invincible Shield might get some cover. Devano, now he's got a really good draw, Devano, so I think he's going to be a little bit closer. The other query is Fast Network. What do they do with him?
He's back on the speed map. Before we get into more details, Tom, here's the past winners. Kaying Rising, not there this year, but the only horse to beat him is.
Yes, and that is, of course, Wunderbar, who was lining up this year, who was beaten in Group 3 company last start. Sight Success, Wellington, Lucky Patch and Wishful Thinkers. So you can see certainly some of our best sprinters down through the years in Hong Kong have won this race.
They have, and we have an interview. First of all, Tomodachi Kokoro is the focus. Nick with his rider, Harry Bentley.
Harry, the Premier Bowl is our feature race coming up, and you've got a bit of a feature horse to ride because he's creating his own little legend here in Hong Kong, Tomodachi Kokoro, who just continues to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, he's a horse that has really climbed the ladder, and he's at an all-time high rating of 100. So, yeah, it's been a great training performance to get him to this point at the age of 7, and I hope he can keep going on the up.
What some viewers might not realise is that he hadn't actually won at Sha Tin until this season, but he's now strung 2 together, and he's won them both in sort of tenacious fashion, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, you couldn't say anything else really. I mean, he won obviously very impressively on seasonal debut, and then he went and backed that up with a really big performance to win last time. I mean, we were drawn wide, and I was always going to have to use him up early to get into a nice handy position, and then we just got slightly moved a bit wider from the horse on the inside than ideal, so he had to work at it a bit, but credit to the horse, he stuck his head out and really battled on.
And that's, I think, key, isn't it, with him, Harry, that you've got a horse that really does try. I went back and had a look at his win last time out, and I mean, when you asked him and sort of really sort of asked him for maximum effort, he responded in spades, didn't he?
He did. You need a willing partner in those scenarios, and he stuck his head out for me, and I felt like he really gave me his all. So, yeah, I can't give the horse any more credit than that, to be honest. And yeah, hopefully he's just got that bit more again.
You mentioned the triple figure racing, of course. Obviously, there are probably fewer options for him now as he creeps up the handicap. I know this is a tougher ask, Class 2 to Group 2, but the way the handicap pans out, you'd like to fancy your chances, wouldn't you, with a lightweight?
Well, the thing is, in these group races, when you've got a horse carrying 115, you just can't look past them, to be honest. It's huge weight that he's giving to some of the top horses, and he's coming in with good form. I'm happy with the draw, so you'd have to respect him.
Yeah, and total respect as well to his owners. They've had a bit of a fun ride with this horse, haven't they? I know they've got big ambitions and big dreams, so it'd be nice in some part to try and fulfil them, I suppose.
Absolutely. I mean, the horse has been a great servant to the whole ownership team, and obviously if we can get another one, it'd be fantastic. But yeah, he's taken them on some great journeys.
That's Harry Bentley. Paul, we're going to move on to the horse you weren't sure where he's going to end up on the speed map, Fast Network. He ends up winning this race from last over the 1,000. Raging Blizzard, this was his first go at the 1,000 metres. He hit the line very strongly and he does love the 1,200.
He does. It was a big price, although there was some money for him late. I think they'll do the same here over the 1,200. They went forward last time, and unfortunately, just the way the race panned out, he was trapped wide. If he goes forward, he's in danger of that happening once again. He's got a good turn of foot on him. He's by rote, so the 1,200 is not a problem for the horse. I think he's a big chance in this race because he's definitely going to get the race run to suit.
A lot of speed in this race for sure, and he can certainly capitalise off that. This is Dennis, sole only winner of the season. Raging Blizzard staying on well, loves the course distance. He could be a useful price in the race too.
Beauty Waves made an abnormal breathing noise in that dust down the track. Packing Hermod Tom, Zach Pert and Francis Loy, the combination with him. Devano disappointed, but has trialled well since.
He has trialled well since Devano, with Angus Chung on board, who's won a Class 1 aboard this horse in the past. Of course, beaten by My Wish in the Celebration Cup. Here, his prior run 1,200 was good behind Kaying Rising and the chief executives. And you've also got here Packing Hermod, Paul, who's unbeaten course and distance.
Yeah, so look, there's some horses that have got really good claims into this race. The thing with Devano, he might go better from barrier 1 as well.
Trials now, Paul, we've got Invincible Sage, Raging Blizzard. Where's Helios Express at? Because we've seen Raging Blizzard and Invincible Sage, but we haven't seen Helios Express or Mugen. Yeah,
well, the thing with Helios Express, he has won fresh in the past and he has been placed fresh in the past. He's got to give away to a lot of these horses, but there's no Kaying Rising in this race.
No, there's not, and he got his victory last season, didn't he, in the Group 3 Sha Tin Vase. Obviously, it's a big ask here, handicap conditions with the top weight. I don't mind Mugen if the pace is on. Trial wasn't too bad with the blinkers there.
All right, that's a trial to look out for. We're staying at the trials now. Tom Invincible Shield gets in with no weight on his back either. Did a good job in a short career. Where's he at?
He's trialled up, I think, reasonably well leading into this, but barrier 13 is the big sticking point here. He's been gelded as well, going back to the end of June. Now a 5-year-old, won 3 of 6. It wouldn't shock me if he ran into a place here, but obviously he's going to find it tough from the draw.
Yeah, the draw put me off him, but look, there's nothing wrong with the trial.
That is Invincible Sage. That's winning that trial. He's running at the same meeting. OK, that's the lead up as far as the replays go. Your bets, your selections, Paul.
Yeah, going to go Fast Network on top. I think he's going to get the race run to suit to beat Helios Express, Tomodachi Kokoro and Packing Hermod. 4-1, 13 and 5.
Going to go rough here with Mugen to win this race. He quickened up nicely after the line in that trial 2. Blinkers on, Karis Teton, Fast Network, Helios Express and Packing Hermod, 12-4-1-5.
Everything you need on the website too, hkjc.com, including race-by-race analysis. Best bet for a big day on Sunday, Paul.
Win Gentleman Legacy last time over 1,800 metres. He ran a close second. I think he can go one better and win this race. So he is the best bet, Gentleman Legacy. And as far as the value, Chill Buddy ran on really well over the straight 1,000 for a 5th last start. I think he can go better with that run under his belt. And we'll do the play in that last race, in race 10, with 6-pack, Dazzling Fit and Dragon Joy at QQP.
Best comes up in race number 4, number 5, Pearl of Pangs, Manfred Mann and Derek Lung. Combined with him, the value will go in the main event with Mugen for Karis Teton and Pierre Ung. Of course, he is a stakes race winner here in Hong Kong. And the play with Gentleman Legacy, Enthralled and also Winning Wing.
Decision Link has drawn a gate. Unfortunately for Keegan de Mello, he's not riding. He's been on him for 2 really good starts. Luke Ferraris is the benefactor. Gets on from barrier 1. He's in great form is Luke. Value race 4, number 7, Absolute Awakened. OK, first up. He raced really well second up at his only time last season. And the play in that race, the air a better draw. Tom's Best, Pearl of Pangs and Absolute Awakened, 257 in a QQP. The diary, Tom, looks this way, and we'll start with the details for racing on Sunday at Sha Tin. Here it comes with 12:15 trackside live.
Yeah, another Japanese simulcast coming through. You've got one extra day, Paul, to do the study for Thursday night at Sha Tin on the dirt. 8 races.
Yeah, usual suspects running around on those horses that really like that dirt as racing as well.
Daily Trophy and Co.
Yeah,
They'll all be there. All your favourites on the all-weather will be there on Wednesday night, including these two. Tom and Paul. Thanks to them, thanks to you too. That's been Racing New, and we'll see you from 12:45.